Hi everyone, welcome back to Hands-Free Studying for the MBE, brought to you by Brainscape. These upcoming criminal procedure questions cover the Eighth Amendment, burdens, and appeals. All right, let's get started. Question 1. What is the Eighth Amendment? The Eighth Amendment prohibits the federal government from imposing cruel and unusual punishment, including torture or any punishment that is grossly disproportional to the offense. Question 2. Does the Eighth Amendment apply to the states? Yes. The Eighth Amendment was incorporated to the states via the 14th Amendment. Question 3. What qualifies as proportional under the Eighth Amendment? A sentence is proportional if the severity of the sentence is proportional to the crime. For example, 25 years for a $100 shoplifting charge would be disproportional. And the sentence must also be similar to the sentences of other similarly situated criminals who have committed the same or similar crimes. Question 4. Does applying a harsher sentence to a repeat offender violate the Eighth Amendment? No. The Supreme Court has held that imposing greater penalties for repeat offenders, for example, 3-strike laws, are constitutional. Question 5. Can a defendant be incarcerated solely for his inability to pay a fine? No, this would be unconstitutional. Question 6. What types of crimes are eligible for the death penalty? Crimes that result in a death or crimes against the state. Question 7. When is the death penalty unconstitutional? The death penalty is unconstitutional if the defendant was under 18 when the crime was committed, if the defendant lacks sufficient mental capacity to understand the imposition of the death sentence, or the crime was felony murder, and either the defendant was not a major participant, or the defendant was a major participant but did not act with a callous indifference to human life. Question 8. Is a mandatory death penalty for specific crimes constitutional? No. Mandatory death penalties are unconstitutional because they prevent the consideration of mitigating factors. Question 9. What is required for the death penalty to be constitutional? There are 5 elements. The death penalty statute must be clear and unambiguous. 2. The statute provides a procedure for review that ensures the death penalty is not arbitrary or discriminatory. 3. A jury is given an opportunity to review mitigating factors. 4. The jury had the opportunity to find the defendant guilty of a lesser included offense. And 5th, the jury finds evidence of at least one aggravating circumstance. Question 10. Is the death penalty unconstitutional if disproportionately used on one race? No, as long as there is no discriminatory intent. And that's the end of your 10 flashcard study round. To reach full mastery, remember to study in Brainscape. Our mobile and web app uses the latest in spaced repetition techniques, allowing you to optimize your study time and track your progress down to the finest detail. Of course, when you're driving, cooking, exercising, or otherwise unable to navigate the app, be sure to keep listening to the rest of this hands-free studying playlist. No matter what subject you're learning and what method you're studying it, Brainscape helps you rise to your challenge.